Welcome
Hut.
back to Sims Complete. Hut.
Yeah. Damn. It's good.
Good hard count.
Yeah, got me going.
He's Phil. I'm Matt. How you doing, Big Phil?
I'm doing. I tell you, I can't believe there's no no Thursday night football, no Saturday, nothing on Sunday. Oh wait, Thursday night we got to watch the East-West Shrine game. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
The All-Star game. So yeah, I'm interested. I'll watch that. So that'll give me something to do that night.
Yeah. Are you having football withdrawal now that the season is coming to an end and you have one game left on the docket?
Not really. I've really been hustling, trying to get some other stuff set up for late February and March. I'm like, what the hell am I going to do? I got to figure out something. So I got some good things going on. So I'll tell you about them. I'll tell you about them off the air. I don't want to say it here on the air.
Okay.
But you know how these things go, little whatever you want to call them. I want to do this, and it very seldom works out. So my anticipation, I got a 20% chance. But, one of these days, one of those 20% chances has to come through for me.
Yeah, wow. Well, I love the optimism that you're showing here with this. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's right. Because anytime you try to involve anybody else in anything, I can't make it. How much you going to pay me? I can't do it. This. Okay. Yeah, it's endless. But oh well. So
yeah.
Hey, let me ask you a question. Here we go. I'm gonna get right into this. The Buffalo Bills. No, I don't know if it's going to change the game or not. The quarterback sneak, was it a first down or not?
Yeah, it was a first down.
So
it was.
What is your feeling? Why wasn't it the call reversed or anything? Hell, they reversed everything. They're not afraid to up there in the sky or whatever they're doing in the NFL. But all of a sudden, this one went silent.
Yeah. I don't know. And it's unfortunate, too, because, of course, social media takes it on their own to dissect all the plays and the angles. And you had a few people that went on and posted videos where they zoom in, they draw a line right on the screen there where the first down marker is. And it's zoomed in such a way that you can clearly see Josh Allen, the football, the line to gain. And, it's pretty apparent and obvious that he crossed that line to gain. And it's just one of those examples where I even was complaining, just aren't we at the day and age? Can't we just put a chip in the damn ball and be done with all this stuff and be able to use all the technology and the AI and all these things and just say, hey, this is the chip said this, they're at this yard line, done. We don't even need the refs to make a judgment call or a decision after looking at the tape on the sideline.
I don't want that. I don't want no damn chip in the ball. They did it in one of the leagues, Matt, right? The USFL or whatever, one of those leagues. And the quarterbacks complained that, as they threw it, it was kind of like the ball would wobble and do other things because the weight, just that little bit of weight in one of the ends of the football was affecting the throws.
Right.
So, between that, and I don't want to have it's something's wrong with the chip. We got to hold play here. And then what are you going to do? Where's it going to be marked from? From the field? We're going to put sensors all over the field. And I would just say this, what's the biggest drawback in all that? And the answer is money. And
yeah, I know. Because they're strapped for cash over there.
Hey, you know how much money you need, right? Come on. How much money you need? More.
That's right. Sure.
I'm not going to fault the NFL owners. No way for that. So, but yeah, it was unbelievable. And, I was with kind of a crowd, as watching the game. So I was like, man, everybody shut up. And even the replays, I really couldn't get a good look at it. So, and I did not, hey, how about this? You ready? I did not watch TV yesterday because I didn't want to hear all the arguments over that.
Yeah.
And it was like, I had the controller like, hey, I'm not going to do it. And let me go eat another breakfast.
Well, good for you because the argument wasn't even about the play. The argument was, of course, the legacy of Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes and, all those things within football. And yeah, I know, but this is what they were discussing. And that was part of that discussion. And to go back to what you first originally asked, I think what I'm most disappointed is the fact that we still live in this day and age where the NFL has this command center where they can review penalties and all that. And At times, they take it upon themselves to correct calls immediately and
Yeah.
call in and check and correct it. At other times, they do nothing. I even go back to Xavier Worthy's catch where Bishop comes over the top there and he high points the football. They both come down it. A third of the football hits the ground simultaneously with no particular player in possession of the football, and yet it was deemed a catch by Xavier Worthy in that situation. So
that's a tough one. Yeah.
It doesn't help either that there's already this stigma surrounding the Chiefs and their success and the help by the refs and all of those things. And we saw a few of them in this playoff run this year. But that QB sneak, for example, just continues to reinforce this narrative behind the scenes with fans, and especially through social media and X, where they just can't take it anymore because they feel like the NFL really is looking and turning a blind eye to this situation. So it's unfortunate that the NFL continues to just act almost negligent and naive to the sense that they should be better at reviewing their own damn plays in the field. I mean, it's a championship game. How do we not have more than the two angles anyway? I don't know. There's 7,000 cameras in the stadium, and yet we're relying on this one. And the fact that someone on social media could zoom in, show the line to gain, show that the ball crossed that line to gain, that he could do that at home with his own means. I understand the NFL needs more money to put a chip in the football, but it'd be nice if they just took the time and the patience to make the call correctly the first time and then checked it again to confirm it. But
mine's really simple. It's just they didn't want to be involved. That's it. They know, they see the bigness of the game, all the Chiefs, all the Bills, all the stuff that you've been talking about. And they just said, you know what? Stay with the call. Let's don't get involved. That's it. I mean, there's no way, from what I really kind of watched it, as I've watched it many times, and I just go, oh, wow, it's pretty clear to me. But, so it has to be just that. I don't think they wanted to be, because is it going to change the outcome of the game? Well, you don't worry about that and all the other calls every week. So really strange, but that's the way it goes. Buffalo had many, many, many chances to win the game. So let's go. Let's start with that. Oh, but you want to start with that, or you want to start with the Washington game?
No, we've already dove into this though. We gotta keep it going. Yeah, we can't backtrack and now go to the Eagles Washington game. And anyway, there's less to talk about in that football game since it was so lopsided. So let's just keep going down the Chiefs Bills pathway. Where would you like to start, Big Phil? What was some of the
things this way? This is really I got a few things. One, chasing the points early. It seems like I talk about this every single week. I don't know if it's going to change the game, but oh my God, let's just kick an extra point. Oh, yeah. It's brutal. And, I actually wrote it down, how it all went down. I'm not going to go over it. I think when it was all said and done, and of course, after I watched the tape Monday morning, I just came up with this. Kansas City, no matter what the situation on either side of the ball is, they have about 5 different ways to attack your butt. And that's it. I mean, you name the plays. How about the fake by Patrick Mahomes? He turns to the left. He makes I don't even know if he called it a fake. Then he rolls right, and it's nobody there. And he throws it for a touchdown. He runs for a touchdown. I mean, that play just signifies, I think, everything they do. They showed the wishbone a few times. Yeah. Well, they run it once, works. And when they came back and ran it for another time, they had a different play with it. Right. But movement, the end of the game, Samaje Perine. Hey, everybody in the NFL runs that play. Mm-hmm. Why did they bring Samaje Perine in there? I think, they probably were going pass protection. That's what the defense thinks. They weren't ready for him to come out. And it was a great pick play. But that's on offense and defense, Kansas City just has more at their disposal to help their players than the Buffalo Bills do at this time. You try to tell me the plays that were really designed and are situations like I just explained. Can you even give me examples of the Buffalo Bills doing that?
No, I can't. And I think that was one of the biggest things that continue to repeatedly show up throughout the football game. Even the failed attempts at the quarterback sneaks there, by Josh Allen. And yes, we just discussed the one that was the controversial call towards the end of the football game. I thought that he crossed the line to gain. I thought he crossed the line to gain when I was watching it live too, as well on television. But all that being said, still, how many times do we have to have our star quarterback just run up on a QB sneak that isn't even well thought out, that they're prepared for? We're not even changing our stance and our pad level like the Eagles do for their tush push. We're standing in a normal stance like it's a normal down and distance to go, allowing the Kansas City Chiefs to get basically in better position to drive you back in that situation. So it was very frustrating. I think Joe Brady, I understand you want to do what got you there, but I think you're also referring to just how many plays Andy Reid had to go with. All right, we got the plays that got us here, and we had the few wrinkles to get us out of these tough situations. And, they called them beautifully. They called them perfectly when they needed to. And the Buffalo Bills, I think, really had a really average game plan for the Kansas City Chiefs. And Josh Allen, a little bit there early in the game, thought he was a little too excited, a little too anxious, to get after it. Should have thrown back-to-back interceptions on the opening damn drive of the game. But that being said, he still made a lot of good plays and played really good football after that, and winning football. And you would have said, too, not turning the football over, scoring 29 points, that we should win the game probably 99% of those times. And this was one of those 1% times.
Yeah. I go back. It's easy being the second, or being a second guesser or whatever, the QB coach, Monday morning QB coach. But, to James Cook, he hasn't been good this past year. Hell, he was
great.
Was one of the unsung heroes of the NFL this past year.
Yeah.
And I think I said it to you last week. I laugh when I watch him play. He runs up right behind the guard. He goes, yeah, let me just bounce it. And he can outrun everybody around the edge. I thought he was being a power runner, making people miss. And I thought he should have had more chances in the game. And, too, I'm going back to the quarterback sneaks. I'm going to give the Kansas City Chiefs a lot of credit. Buffalo's run the same quarterback sneak, I think, every single time this year. He goes to the left. And who was it? Was it Justin Reed, the safety, who was on the edge and went right behind everybody and cut his legs out in one of them? Mm-hmm. And I just go, there you go. They were waiting on that. So, but, Matt, I don't think they ever run out of plays. I think they actually, I heard somebody say it on TV today, and I'm going to agree with them. I think they keep certain things stashed. You go, let's don't panic and use that in the second quarter. This might be when we really need something later in the game. And case in point, I think that Samaje Perine play, that would have been there for them many other times if they wanted to run it, but they held it. Mm-hmm. And, pick plays are always great, those crossers. I think my last thing to say, too, is I just think of things off the top of my head. Travis Kelce, man, Matt, he can set a pick. He can, he knows how to get right in position and then move where they have to just barely run around him or whatever. He did that a couple times. Buffalo, man, this might be the worst one of all. This could almost be as bad as the 13-second loss in Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is even worse because it is a play or two away from going to the Super Bowl, where that one was just a divisional football game. So there's a difference in that too. I think Bernard getting injured in this football game early too put Buffalo in a tough situation as well, because clearly their game plan was to run a lot of man coverage. And Elam is a good football player, but he's not Bernard, and he doesn't have the ability to do the things that he was being asked to do in the secondary of that football team. And big picture wise, I guess my biggest issue. Oh, Benford, excuse me. I'm sorry, I said Bernard. One of my biggest issues I think I have too in this football game is there was too many times that I thought that the Buffalo Bills made it harder on themselves than they need to. Even too with just, why can't we be more patient running the football with James Cook in this football game? Yeah. I mean, why can't we line it up and doctor it up, shifts or motions, whatever, and do a better job of getting him opportunities, whether it's in 11 personnel or extra tackle in the football game. They did that play once or twice early on in the third quarter. Didn't see any of those plays later on in the game. And they were getting good yards from them. So I was a little curious that in critical situations, they didn't have specific running plays for James Cook, even for Ty Johnson in that situation, a bigger back, even Ray Davis, a bigger, stronger back. Like, why can't we just line up and formation in a way to get a man advantage with an extra tackle involved in the football game and just run the ball with power and get those first downs in situations like that? And then have, of course, the play actions and the boots and nakeds off of those plays with your athletic quarterback, giving him the ability to either run or throw as well. And I think those were missed opportunities there by Coach Brady in this football game, where I just feel like they just kind of got lazy, I guess, in relying on the fact that their quarterback is 6'5" and he's 250 pounds and he's gonna muscle it in there.
Well, listen, the other thing I worried about, many things, because I thought Kansas City going into the game was the better team.
Yeah.
And, Buffalo, did they really, when you watch the game, did they separate a lot as receivers down the field? The answer is no.
No.
I mean, they had small windows. He made some really good throws. 3rd down and 9, just sticking the ball in there where if he doesn't hit the receiver, I can't remember who it was, on like a slant or a little bigger than a slant. But I think the other thing, just thinking about the game, and Kansas City, great. We're going to talk about them next week and the week after and everything. So we have time for that. But the Bills, Ed Oliver, defensive tackle, he was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like he was playing like his life depended on it. I was, and he has been a good player, but damn, did he raise his level for the game? It was like one time I just watched, I said, God, he's like the Tasmanian devil. He's just so frantic and so into it and really created a lot of pressure, good in the run game. Now, let me go to that. The defensive ends for the Bills gave up the edge way too many times when they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
God almighty, pass and run, play action, just crash. Nobody even within 10 yards out there.
Yeah.
I'm exaggerating a little there. So that was disappointing. Big games, being disciplined, and all the things, the nerves, the emotions you have, many things there. One, settle down. But two, can the coaching staff help us out a lot?
Yeah.
And they get us going. When it gets, hey, there, you said it too. Kansas City Buffalo was running the football right down their throat. And I guess I forgot on CBS who the reporter was. They were listening to Steve Spagnuolo on the sideline talking. He goes, hey, this is exactly what they do.
Right.
They got a lead, and it's getting towards the end of the game, and they want to run it out. And he goes, we got to step. And they did. They went out there and did a much better job against the run. Look, just a little thing too. Andy Reid and his play calling. Have you ever seen a more relaxed defensive coordinator on the sideline than Steve Spagnuolo? He's over there like, all right, guys, come on, we're good. Let's make it happen. I mean, it's really, and his play calls, and the last play of the game are for Buffalo which could have been. What do you think, real quick? I haven't finished my answer. Kincaid, yes or no? Should he have caught it or not?
Yeah, of course he should have caught it. Yeah, I mean, of course.
Really tough catch. But
it's tough, and him, Mark Andrews, both in tough situations where it's not ideal, all that, still expected to make the catch, expected to make the tough catch in a big time moment like that. And all that being said, that goes back to, I think, just Brady being out coached in that situation with the motion there right before a snap, the inability with the motion now to change protections or change the view, or to make sure that you're identifying things properly. The tight alignment by that X receiver, giving them the ability to run a corner blitz in that situation. The fact that they're sliding the whole offensive line to one side when you have, known defenders in the area there at the line of scrimmage that potentially can be rushing the passer. A typical drop back pass in that situation to a mesh route concept which is a longer developing play. And I just thought that there was moments throughout the football game where Spags did a fantastic job of, they were expecting man, they got zone. They were expecting zone, they got man. And then, of course, just creating a lot of havoc at the line of scrimmage, too. Even guys like Nick Bolton, I think, like, he had a great tip pass there on a third down situation.
Yes.
He's trying to throw the football underneath there, I believe, to Khalil Shakir on a little return route. Nick Bolton did a great job of just reading. He was spying. Josh Allen did a great job staying at the line of scrimmage and then jumped and tipped the ball down at the line of scrimmage there to stop an easy completion there for a first down, and would have been a catch and run. And those are those small plays that I feel like the Chiefs make more routinely than the Buffalo Bills did. And to go back to what you were saying with the Buffalo Bills, yes, Ed Oliver played well. Jordan Phillips played well too.
Yes.
Other than that, they're just everyone else just okay. I mean, and that's really the truth of it too. Actually, maybe Cole Bishop, but Cole Bishop played really good. If he would have come down with the interception, it would have been phenomenal how well he played and how well he tackled. But overall, big picture, just not enough strength and size on the Bills' defensive side of the line of scrimmage there to cause havoc consistently. Whereas on the other side of the football, you just felt like the Kansas City Chiefs had the physicality to keep up with the Bills, whether they did want to continue to run it if they were going to do that, or just to keep getting after the passer and causing havoc at the backfield with confusion.
Well, let's just say this. The one thing that nobody talks enough about, we're talking about, first off, they're tough as hell, Kansas City.
They are.
They're tough. I mean, the old phrase, they're battle tested, that's an understatement. They're beyond. Right. And, whatever they're doing, they don't screw it up. Right. The blitz at the end that you can say won the game for them. The defensive end went out too wide. Why did he go really wide? He went out of the play because he wanted to create a bigger lane for the blitzers to run through, which worked well. And Josh Allen, listen, that'd have been one of the greatest throws in history if Kincaid would have caught it. But think about Kansas City in this vein too. What they are now. Hey, we know it's been a few years, Tyreek Hill and the high-flying offense. Well, they're not the high-flying offense now. They're pick. And, hope we get a big play here and there. And every play that Andy Reid has ever instituted for the Kansas City Chiefs with Patrick Mahomes, I think they're all on a play sheet because their number of plays and change. And I know I've kind of beat this to death, but it's so true that they just have many looks and their opportunities. There's many of them, but this shows you who they are in the classroom and on the practice field. And, your brother, my son, Christopher's been out there and he watched them practice one day and he goes, oh my God, they're out there forever. And I said, yeah, I covered, quite a few of those games myself, and they practice and it's real and everybody's in. And so that's the culture, the old culture. That's what they've created out there. They got tough-minded players physically, mentally, and then the coaches sure as the hell give them every opportunity to show it. So
yeah, absolutely. And to go back to that defense side of the football too for the Kansas City Chiefs, just I don't think enough credit goes to guys like Nick Bolton, Justin Reed, Drew Tranquill, how he played, Chamari Connor, how well he played in the football game. Jaden Hicks, Mike Dana. I mean, it just the list goes on and on for that defense, and how each one of them had their hand in making a big time play and big time moments, and did a great job of covering on the back end of the Buffalo Bills receiving core. Whereas on the other end, I feel like the Buffalo Bills, they struggled. I mean, we don't think about the Chiefs of this high-flying offense and all of that. They still passed for 245 yards. They still got Juju Smith-Schuster open 2 times over the middle for gains of 30 and 29. Xavier Worthy and his speed was different. And of course, that was kind of beaten to death this past week too, or this weekend, just how the Chiefs traded with the Buffalo Bills to get that spot in the draft and to get Xavier Worthy. But Hollywood Brown being healthy, adding a little speed to that alignment too as well. You could see that there was an emphasis to slow down Travis Kelce, but it didn't matter because the other guys did a great job of coming up big time in the passing game. And Kareem Hunt ran the ball well enough to win the football game. They were a little bit more patient than the Bills in the running attack and in that regard. And Patrick Mahomes with those designed runs were phenomenal.
Yeah. You know, my last one about this game.
Yeah.
Real quick, they draft guys, you know, and like Xavier Worthy, okay, he's coming on, he's learning, he's getting better.
Yeah.
And sure, and they have the ability to do these things in a slow process. They don't have to rush them.
Right.
Keep learning how we practice. This is what we do. Bum, bum, bum. And you just get tougher and better and everything as the year goes along. And it shows up late in the year. The other guy that he's really caught my eye, I talked about him last week. I almost got a crush on him here. George Karlaftis. I mean, man, Matt, hell, you know, sometimes I go, boy, good rush by Chris Jones. Oh, wait, because I'm looking at him from behind, you know, not – but Karlaftis playing defensive end, both sides. They got this rotation going that keeps Chris Jones fresh. He gets in and out, you know, so – just everything, man, of course, it's really incredible to think that they could win 3 in a row right now. And all the, you know, just in the NFL, which everything is supposed to be pretty even. And they've learned to play and win these close games. We've already said why. Them, their toughness, they're smart, but it's the coaches who are absolutely taking all that and making it better, and that's why they win.
For sure. If you go down the list of who checked the box as far as coaching staff and being prepared, even to just the plays that were made in special teams. I mean, Nico Remigio with his returns, they were huge momentum boosters for the Kansas City Chiefs. And those 2 plays alone just kind of add to the whole cumulative effect that this team has on opposing football teams, especially when they are at home. And Patrick Mahomes, not one time was he put in a position to put the football into harm's way or one where you were questioning his decision and like, oh man, he got away with one there. And I think that's something that's really, truly amazing about what we've seen from the Chiefs and their ability to operate as an offense, big picture wise. There's very few plays where you think the Chiefs, they did that to themselves. That's why they lost that opportunity there. No, they really don't. They're super sharp, not many missed opportunities. And when it is, it's because they didn't execute, not because the other team forced them into those situations where they make a bad play that way. So it's really tremendous too. Just, I said this the other day, Andy Reid, all the things that he did with the Philadelphia Eagles, all those lessons and failures are coming back now to be able to be that wise old coach. And I think NFL franchises got to really remember this too, going forward when you're hiring a coach. And kudos to the Raiders for hiring Pete Carroll, but that age and that experience, it means something. To go and prepare for these teams week after week and to know how to beat teams in multiple different ways and how to prep your team and how to motivate your team and your coaching staff speaks volumes. So I know everyone in the NFL is looking for that hot, young, offensive-minded coach and, you know, to be explosive through the quarterback position and all of that. But, man, Andy Reid definitely did learn how to cut his teeth, so to speak, in Philadelphia for this dynasty in Kansas City. And I think that's something that should be continue to be modeled after in the NFL.
Well, you know what? Close game. Isn't it amazing? We're talking about this, all the domination of Kansas City, their smarts and all that, and they had to pull it out. And we didn't really get into going for that 2, you know, and somebody says, well, analytics tells them to. Okay, that's great. Can somebody create something that tells me when analytics tells you to do it and you fail, how much it really affects you afterwards?
Right.
I want to know that. Of course, I don't think you can ever get that, but oh well. Great job by Kansas City. Let's move on to the other game.